Hello friends, you're with a Lonesome Gamer and I'm playing Dungeon Universalis. And we're back in the campaign map, and I just realized once again that I'm simply not a campaign gamer. I did some character development, and I went to the locations and bought some stuff and so, and I never can get excited about that. It always is more work than fun for me. And I don't think this is part of the game necessarily. I mean, okay, maybe the game does not have the most exciting solutions here, but it's something that I generally just do not enjoy. I'm not someone who kind of plans ahead how to improve his hero, what skills can work perfectly together, and there are these people who kind of develop strategies when it comes to this hero development, and then they kind of want to optimize everything and all that. I just don't care about these things, and it's I basically just grab the skills and take what I find is somehow reasonable at that moment. But yeah, I don't get a lot out of this, but okay. So let's see. What I did is we ended up with a lot of experience points from the last scenario, and I spent 3 points, so 1 development point basically, to give her an additional fortune. So now she has 6 fortune. And that is also the maximum. You can only get +2 fortune from your starting value. And this is all I did. The dwarf and also the sorceress, they are saving for 2 development points to get an advanced skill. And there we gotta make something up. But I already talked about that in my house rules. And yeah, this is the Cyclop. Actually, he also had now the chance, but I think I'm also gonna save. Yeah, he's also in a fine position now. I think I also want to get some advanced skill with him. Okay, so we have now overall 78 value points with the heroes though. And then we got 6 more from here and another one from the dog. And by the way, I also paid the $5 maintenance for him. So that means I can keep this guy. And that means we're now at 84. No, that's not true. 85 points. Wow, that's a lot. Okay, 85 points for the whole group. And yeah, I think and this is basically more a guess, by the way. This is a little tricky to calculate if you have so many heroes, and I have no real, if I had a reasonable diary or something for the mission, that would make things easier, but again, or for the campaign. But again, because I'm just not a campaign player, I'm not excited to do this stuff, and I'm not really tracking that. So sometimes I just erased it here, and I'm not sure what the starting value was. It's easier to see with these pre-generated heroes. There it's printed. But with the others, I'm not always perfectly sure. So it's just a guess. But I think it's about right. So pretty much every hero is now worth about 20 points. That makes sense. They all started out with 10, and now they're about at 20. So I say 78 points for the heroes, and then the 7 points for the other guys. Okay, so we had the situation where there came this call for help by the kingdom of Camair, and yeah, now we're supposed to read number 23. Old Counselor Black Cane gives you a scroll with the message for Avatarin. Zorfand has confessed some things tonight. He admits that he hired the assassin who was ordered to murder Soborkian. He says that there is an evil in the east that is rising again, long awaited by a multitude of dark sorcerers and creatures scattered and hidden in the world. For that reason, to keep us distracted, they will try to undermine us, the human kingdoms, and also the Kamarin, through plots that will lead to more robberies and murders. Go to Kamar and serve Avatarin as you they've done for our king. They possess the greatest treasures and most powerful arcane objects. If they require you so urgently, do not question the rewards that you will get in this adventure, for they will be greater than you could ever imagine. Depart now from Minon, and may the gods bless you. Okay, for Minon, and may the gods bless you. And if we're there, we're supposed to read 24. Okay, so let's see. Minon is where exactly? It's this large city here. Now, there's a thing here. Well, wait a minute here. So I was thinking, there is a special quest book for heroes, and yeah, these are basically extra quests, and I thought maybe there was a chance to do a quest with Melis. She's now a little bit advanced, and you have to have some. I think she is at the point where she could do it now, but she must be at the Forest of the Witches, and for some reason I thought it would be in this area, but actually it's far out there, so we're not going to go there. Instead, let's follow the call of the Camiers. And it's now, I see, T23 or T24. Yeah. To Camarin. First we gotta go there, of course. So let's do this. Let's do the movement here. Okay, so we're here. Let's get a marker for that. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we're back here, gotta cross the bridge, and we gotta do this persuasion test. So we're gonna roll, I think they got a 4 intelligence and I got a 5. Okay, so this time they definitely win, which means I gotta pay something, and now I gotta check what that actually is. Now, thematically, I think it's a little bit ridiculous that, you know, I come from a king, I got this letter and whatever, and I got to go, I'm on an important mission, and now I gotta pay taxes when I cross that bridge. But okay, so I tried to explain them the situation, but they just didn't understand. So I gotta spend $4, 1 coin for each hero, and now we're in here. And here's another thing. I'm really not too... I'm just, you know, there's so much about this campaign stuff that I don't really like. For example, if you travel the road, I got a feeling that at least compared to the plains, the road is not any safer. It's more likely that you will have some kind of encounter there. On a 4+ you have an encounter on the road. Only on a 5+ you have an encounter on the plains. And I don't know, the road, there are lots of unpleasant encounters there. And I don't remember having a bad encounter in the plains. So that's a little odd. Why would I travel the road then? Maybe if there are areas where it's, I mean, I can see that, you know, if there are somewhere areas where it's more dangerous, maybe then taking the road is an advantage. But it seems to me that there are then no roads anyway. So basically, you can only find roads here and there. Traveling off the road seems perfectly fine to me. Okay, so I'm gonna go through this. This time I'm gonna travel here. The plane. We got a travel event. So, well, maybe now I regret that. So let's see. That's 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We got only 12. Oh yeah, that's number 2. So, what is that? It's a scorched village. You enter a scorched village. If you choose to bury the dead, the dark player will place a new danger marker. Yeah, that's another thing. You got to play with these shitty danger markers, which is something I simply don't do. If you decide not to do so, one of the village's survivors puts a curse on you. One random hero loses 1 fortune point. You know what? I guess because there's no consequences for this thing, I'm gonna take the fortune point, because it would be not fair otherwise. So yeah, I'm gonna accept that. I'm gonna take the curse. Let's say it's a cursed village, and so a random hero loses a fortune. Okay, she loses a fortune here. And probably doesn't matter that much. Anyway, we can simply go here and heal. And again, I don't know. These strange events, you know, well, meh, okay. And we have another one. That's number 3. A farm again. Yeah, I remember that. So we get some food there. Pack of provisions. Let's continue our travel. I want to go to a city or something. Is there anything really exciting there? I don't think so. No, we just continue traveling, I guess. Wait a minute. We gotta roll this first. Okay. Let's move on. There we go. And nope. And then we enter this area here. And it seems we have to cross another bridge. But first we have to resolve the encounter. Okay, that's 2. So that is, this time it says ancient graveyard. You enter an ancient graveyard. The ground is covered in tall grass. Some crypts remain sealed while others look to have been looted long ago. You can pass by or open those tombs still untouched. Well, we could go for an epic event, the Dead Rise. And I'm not too eager to do that, to be honest. Or we could look for... I don't want to do that. We could find some rusty objects and all. You know, again, I'm really not too much into these events. They don't seem interesting to me at all. So we got to cover this. We got to cross the bridge here, and that means we got to do another persuasion test. This time, I guess we're successful. I think they have an intelligence of, let's find that bridge again. I'm pretty sure they have an intelligence of, there we go. Yeah, they have an intelligence of 4. I got a 3. I got a 5. So that means we can simply pass because we both have a 7 here. Okay, so now we are entering another plane, I guess. And that means we got to roll again. Nothing here. And now we go into the kingdom of Kamair. And we're entering now the mountains here. And also on a 5+, we're going to have an event. Nope. So now we are allowed to enter. Oh, first we got to, this is also a mountain region. So let's roll again. No. No event, and now we made it to the city, and we got to roll there again. So here on a 3+. Okay, we do have an event here. Let's hope it's not too bad. Okay, it's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Friendly alchemist. One random hero among those who can cast spells meets an old friend in this tower. The hero can try to pass an intelligence roll. If he does, he gets one free random potion. Yeah, I mean, why not? Yeah, let's do it. Okay, we did, so we get a random potion. We ended up with a strength potion. This one here, oops, I already gave that to this guy. Okay, so we made it to this city. I think first I probably want to visit definitely the magic school. They will have, and I wonder what that actually is. This symbol here, I don't remember what that is. They're gonna have some random magic objects. So 10, 20. Maybe we can afford something there. Let's find out. So let's see what we got. We got first a silver arrow. Ammunition for bows. On a successful hit, the target's armor is reduced by 1. Only 1 shot per combat. Ignore shields. It may break with every critical failure while shooting. So I assume that this reduction is permanently, right? I mean, otherwise it would not be super interesting. Right, I mean, there's a lot that reduces the target's armor by 1, for example, the double-headed axe or something. So I assume that this is something that is permanently, and although I don't know, man. It says 1 shot per combat. Maybe not. Ooh, that's tough. If it would be 1 shot per quest, then this is something, I don't know, I got no clue about that. You know, here's the thing. It seems not terribly powerful for a magic item if it's just for this single shot, to reduce the target's armor by 1. On the other hand, if you can use that in every combat, it seems a little too powerful. So I think it actually just is really that single shot. I mean, it's still not bad. So this is clearly an option. I think might actually take this. I can afford it. Okay, this is the Book of the Dead. Spellcasters only. The user can cast up to 2 Raise the Dead spells at no cost. Wow. Once the 2 spells have been cast, the item has no more power and must be discarded. Whoa. Spells cast with this object are regarded as if they had got a 12 in his casting roll. I mean, that's pretty potent. But this thing costs me $40 and I can only use it twice. So I don't think I'm going to do that. That's too expensive, I think. Now what is that? Smart rope. User gets +2 to agility while climbing. Allows the building of a footbridge in combination with 1 pickaxes. May be used to help other characters jump over or get out of pits. It never breaks. I don't know. I mean, this is very specific. And it's 30 bucks, man. This is really expensive. If it would be 15 bucks or maybe 10, I might consider it, but this is super expensive. So I think I'm gonna go for the arrow instead. Yeah, I'll probably just go for the arrow. I have a lot of cash. Yeah, you know what? I'm simply gonna go for the arrow. I'll pay the 20 bucks. I'm gonna buy the silver arrow. And now I got 2 of these special arrows. Yeah, I think that's cool. Okay, so we made it into Menon. I'm not actually sure if we should have entered the city. It's a little bit odd, but it says when you get to Menon, read that. Now we already interacted with the town, but now that I kind of read that, 2 Camarine scouts take you by surprise as you unsuccessfully seek access to the Valley of Menon. They ask you to follow them after identifying yourselves. They lead you through tunnels dug into the mountains and you ascend hundreds of steps. Inside these tunnels you discover life-size statues carved in stone. They are the figures of the ancient kings who ruled these domains since the time immemorial. There are also hieroglyphics that show fragments of sacred texts. When you re-emerge outside, you are astonished to contemplate the vast frozen valley that stretches out before you. In the center, in the deepest snowy valley of Menon, you can see the capital, a city built entirely on permanent ice regardless of the season. They lead you to the fortress located in the center of the city. A very thin Camarine dressed in a silver tunic stands before you. My name is Ariont, servant of the king. You may pass. He leads you to a room crossed by a corridor flanked by hundreds of massive columns of ice. At the end of the corridor you can see a king sitting on a silver throne. Avatarin greets you and then reads your message. As he finishes, he looks at you in astonishment. Oh boy, look at that. Oh gosh. Ah gosh. I'm not going to read all that aloud. I'm sorry, this is nearly a whole page. I'm going to read the stuff and then tell you what he wants us to do. Okay, now it seems to get a little more important. This was just some kind of introduction here. And now they're explaining some important thing about whatever. The Soul Stone, where Rasbal was imprisoned, was stolen from the deepest corner of one of our mountain fortresses. From then on, as you can imagine, a deep concern seized all my thoughts. It was absolutely certain that whoever stole it did so with the sole intention of liberating the great demon Rasbal. And if he has been released, that means that the last soul stone has been destroyed and cannot be used again to lock him up. I sent explorers to different parts of the world and to the kingdom of Banmore because I suspected that the great demon had returned to its old lair. These scouts returned with the worst news. The tree of evil has been reborn in the subterranean kingdom of Obsidian, and the creatures of the underworld have proliferated with it. It has been a few months now, but we have not been idle. I studied the Collard again and its supreme book of incantations of God Anzorax, whose original we still guard. There are other ways to fight the great demons, although the soul stones were the most effective for. Okay, however, if you manage to gather 3 gems of courage, our sorcerers could forge a sword, crimping the gems to its build. That is why I need people like you, who are able to go unnoticed and explore the deepest corners of certain places. The gems of courage are magical objects that by themselves increase the bravery of the bearer. In his manuscript, King Bosepan assures me that the sorcerer of the underworld ordered one of those gems to be enclosed in a large crypt located in the Guardian Hills. Perhaps Sorfound was aware of the power that can be achieved by the conjunction of several of these gems and fears it might be used against the demon he seeks to protect. You must go there and retrieve that gem, although you will have to face the undead creatures protecting it. Another one of the gems is located in the Swamp Island. And the other gem is in a much more dangerous place, the abode of the Gorgon on the Snake Island, located in the Septentrional Sea. Okay. I already told you that your mission is going to be very difficult, but the reward will be unequal too. We will pay you 10 coins each to cover the most immediate expense. It is entirely up to you to try to save this continent. Now, finally, something's at stake here. But if you do, and you return alive, we will give you riches and honors worth of a king. Of course, you can also choose to leave these lands and try to avoid a destiny that will reach you, like all of us, sooner or later in the future. Whatever you choose, be careful. Orcs descending from the mountains next to the forest have been raiding them these days. Okay, so technically we could actually start a new campaign, which is probably then the green skin threat. I just assume that's the case, but I don't know. So we could go here to a new campaign, but of course we want to save the continent, and therefore I think I'm gonna go simply to the Guardian Hills. Maybe that makes sense to follow the order here, so maybe the first one is also a little bit easier. So that is M11. Okay, where is that? Oh gosh, we gotta go all the way back. Oh, fuck it, man. Oh, this is ridiculous. We gotta all the way back, man. Ah, oh, come on. Okay. What? No, that can't be true. Oh no, that's the text. Ah, I see. No. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so basically we have to work our way through all these 3 locations, and when we're done with that, we go back and then we read the next stuff. So there is not that much story between these 3 things, it seems. So I'm gonna go back to the Guardian Hills, but guess what? I'm not gonna do this here on that. I mean, this is just incredibly boring. I'm not gonna roll for all that crap. Just makes no sense to me. I'm just gonna go there and do the mission. Okay, so we got now 40 bucks from the king. That should be enough to go to send her to the inn and recover the fortune that we've lost because of that curse of that village. And you know, I guess at that point I'm fine to go. I mean, I don't really need much more stuff. Because of my herbalist skill, I can create a potion at the start of each adventure. So I'm going to get a dexterity potion, which is pretty useful, I think, when it comes to traps and so on. And I'm just going to go there. You know, I'm really not interested in rolling the dice all the time, and it just slows you down. It's not really exciting to do that. Maybe on our way back, you know, but I just did it, and I don't know. The guy just sends me back again. Walking distance 300 miles or something. Whatever. I mean, no, not quite. Okay. But anyway, we're going to do this, and yeah, we're going to set up the adventure here. Pretty sure that's going to be more exciting than just walking around here on the map. Okay, so let's read the scenario introduction here. Some of you have known the legend for years. An ancient king, cursed by a witch, got sick every time the sunlight washed over his skin. That is why he decided to live the rest of his days under the ground, accompanied only by his most faithful guards. Now you walk very close to the place that some call the cursed crypt, and you feel the urge to explore it and check the truth behind the tale. You would almost say that the sudden and overwhelming need has been aroused by an unknown and invisible power. Perhaps the cursed king has been awaiting you since you were little children, and that faint breeze you feel caressing your ears is actually a whisper. Will there really be a gem of courage locked up in that crypt? Okay. Knock out the quest leader and find the gem of courage. So we have to fight the creatures of the night. Cool. Let's see what the special rules are. All sections of the scenario will be affected by the darkness card, including the main room. Okay, we got a torch with us, which is pretty good. And I'm not sure how long that actually burns. I think it burns the section or an area with a radius of 6 squares and I think I can use that all the time. I'm not sure, but it doesn't, there doesn't seem to be a limit here. Vampires and werewolves may not be spawned in this scenario. Okay. You will need the achievement and reserve point counters. Okay, so now this time I'm gonna try for the first time my house rule, where I basically count the achievement and the reserve points on the value point counter, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, we got to, before building the dark player deck, set aside the obstacles card labeled portcullis and 11 reserve points on the leader. Okay, so this is the starting tile here. And now again, here's what I want to try with my house rules to make this whole track more interesting. I'm still going to use this one here because I really have no idea how it will play out. And if it's just too crazy, I can still just ignore that and follow the standard rules over here because this is important, right? So the basic idea is, we already said that, I'm basically gonna I'm gonna track the achievement points, and then toward the end of the game, when I enter the main room, I basically subtract the difference over here. So if the dark player is in the lead, I'm going to give him the lead here as a value of his value points, and if I'm in the lead, I'm going to subtract it from here. So technically that means I could in general track the whole thing right away over here, but yeah, I don't know how it turns out. And if I'm, for example, because I'm also going to change the values here, the things that give me points a little bit. And, you know, if it turns out, oh boy, I'm in a 20-point lead or something, and then it makes no sense. But it's just a try. So the basic idea is that at the end of a scenario where we count if we win against the leader or not, what happens is that we have that big battle at the end. And when we enter the main room, the guy is probably quite a bit in the lead. And after that big battle, when we can kill a couple of creatures, and in addition the leader, we might actually get, I don't know, it's hard to tell, maybe 10 additional points or something like that, right? And then maybe we can even things out, or we can just barely win or so. I think this is probably the concept of that whole track. So my idea is now to say, I basically stop when I enter the main room, counting anything here, and instead then if there is, so I will apply the result here to this track, and that gives then the other guy the option to improve his leader, which is pretty good for him. In this way, the track here matters until I actually enter the room. There's really something at stake, right? If I fall behind 10 points or something, the leader will be much stronger than otherwise. So I want to really try to get achievement points. But because that big opportunity of the last big battle, which then gives me a bunch of additional points, will not be included in the race, right? So therefore, I must get the opportunity to collect more points during the adventure. Now I could say, okay, I'm simply gonna give him 10 less points less or something, but I don't know if that's fair. So I thought maybe I should get points for opening doors in general, and also interacting with any type of furniture, not only with special elements. That kind of encourages me to search and to explore more, which is cool. And also when I search a room and I find more than 2 coins, so if I roll at least a 3 or 4, then I also get an additional point. So that's my plan, and yeah, we'll see how it plays out, if it works or not. Okay, so right now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the first guy here, and then or they start, I think they start basically here. So let's see, it's 1, I'm gonna make it in a clever way here. So let's start with him. 1, 2, so he moves back here, and the dwarf can go 1, move till here now. I'm gonna move her 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're gonna move this guy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and eventually we can run with her down here. Oh, and I forgot the dwarf. Okay, I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4. I think he can, well, if he runs, he can actually, yeah. Oh yeah, so you can also go simply here. Cool. So we made it here. Now it's the dark player's turn, so he gets a point. And then we try to reveal the next section. Okay, so let's see what we roll, if there'll be a trap or not. And there is none. So now I reveal the section, and that gives me also a point. Okay, we found this room here. There's a fountain here. There's a second exit over here, and we have a door right there. Now the fountain does not give us a big advantage. If we explore that, there's nothing to gain from that. We can get vitality points. Right now we didn't lose any, but we actually have to check first if there are any creatures in there. So let's see. And they're not. Okay, So let's see what we can do. The question is, do we open the door or do we go this way? Probably makes sense to open the door. So I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. Well, you know what? I might move with her last. Yeah. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, that's it. 4. Well, I could run with him. Yeah. So I'm going to move him here, maybe over here even. And the other guy moves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, damn it. Wait a minute. It wasn't that easy, of course. We can only move... Really forgot that. We can only move here so that we stay safe. And we can then move with him here. And then we got to move this guy. I'm going to move him probably here so that we cover quite a bit of the room. And then we can move with here if we run. And I also have to roll for him. He's fine. She is also okay, but she cannot run quite as far, but 8 points, I guess, is enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think she's okay. And now she moves here and opens the door. And, yeah, so let's do that. Again, we check for trap. And again, no trap. Always this result. So we can open the door. There we go. And let's see what we find. Okay, so we simply found another room, this time covered with mold. Now we don't really know what that means already. Got to roll here. The first guy who enters the room has to roll, and then that's the result. And last time I played it in a way that then happens to everyone who enters this room. Makes sense for me. So let's see if there's a creature there now. And, well, oh yeah, no creature. The next room I have to roll twice. I'm not going to count the first room, because creatures cannot spawn there anyway. But from now on, I'm going to follow the rule. If during the last 2 sections there were no creatures, then you have to roll twice. Okay, I just realized that the poor dog actually waited outside. I mean, this is not a supermarket, so he is obviously allowed to enter here and just put him here. And okay, so now I'm going to simply move her into the room and see what the result is. We're going to roll a d6, and that result will then apply to everyone who will also enter the room. So let's see. Yeah. Okay, that's a 3. So character gets the condition stunned. Okay. So I should have taken someone else. Okay, anyway, this gives me a point, and then I think I probably only move then here, because I don't want to move out of my zone of influence. And interacting with special elements gives you points. So, okay, now let's bring this guy in. I guess I'm simply going to move him here. And they are basically now all stunned. Okay, so this is it. Another point for this guy here. And now we're going to see if we get the stun condition away. And so again, I'm going to start with her. And roll a die. I need a 4+, so she no longer is stunned, which is good. And let's see. We get a few markers here just to remember that. So you know what? I think. Okay, I can remember that she isn't stunned, and we'll see about the others then later. So now let's try to open the door. And there is indeed a trap here. Okay, that's a riddle. Interesting. A door or chest cannot be opened unless a riddle is solved. Solving a riddle requires passing an intelligence test with a -2 penalty. A failed attempt means the door or chest cannot be opened. If the riddle protects a door, it can be broken and will be regarded as a reinforced door. Okay. So, cool. Interesting. Excuse me. So, the scout is not terribly clever. So I think I'm going to have to move the sorceress in, and she's going to try to do that. Okay, but before we do it, we got to roll if the dwarf is still stunned, and I think he's not, because he's got that tough ability, which gives him a +1. Yeah, so he is also no longer stunned, and he moves now simply back 1 space. Let's roll for the dog. The dog is still stunned, so this time we're gonna place some kind of marker there. Oh boy, there we go. There we have one of these stunned markers. And what about this guy here? He also is stunned, and now this poor guy. Well, maybe we can first bring the sorceress in, and she is not stunned, which is good, because in this way she's going to be better in solving the riddle, and that's what she does right now. Yeah, so that was a success. She managed to solve the riddle and to open the door, which gives me another point. And yeah, that will then open the door. And we found another corridor. So this time we got to roll the die twice if there will be creatures or not. So it is very likely. And no. Incredible. Again, no creatures until now. The whole dungeon is basically empty. So that means we can now move these two guys. We have no new turn. They are, well, let's see first if the elf is stunned. And he's no longer stunned, so we move him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I guess simply here. And what about the gladiator? And because he is also tough, that means he is also no longer stunned. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna bring him right here, I guess. You know, I think no, that's fine. Yeah, let's bring him there. And okay, so we go into the next turn. Guess the dog goes here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're gonna try to open the next door. Oh god. And another trap. Incredible. Okay, that is a flooded area. The section which contains the trap begins to flood, becoming difficult terrain. All the doors and accesses in the section are turned into closed doors and can only be broken. Starting from the next turn of the heroes, each character in the section will take 1 damage die against natural armor at the beginning of their activation. And provided none of the doors have been broken. Okay, so that's, wow, that's tricky. So he's got to spend 2 points to play that card. Still got lots of points left. And now, let's see if I can spot that trap. So it's not that easy, but it's also not super hard. So I got the sharp senses from the dog, the eagle eye. So that's a +3. So I need a 6 here. Ah, fuck. I didn't do it. And, do I want to reroll that? Maybe I do. Yeah, I think otherwise it's a little bit... So let's do it. And this fortune gives him another point. Let's reroll that. Okay, we made it. Just was close, but we made it. So luckily the trap was not triggered. And now the question is, do we want to disarm this thing or not? We need an 8 to do it. I mean, there are still other doors we can use, so maybe it's not necessary that we go in here. Let's see. I think I got to mark this thing somehow. Okay, so I'm going to use this thing here. So basically, there's some weird terrain formation, and if you kind of step onto that, then the trap will be triggered. So let's place it like this as a marker. Hope I don't... Yeah, well, I shouldn't forget that. Okay, so this is the flooded area, and I'm going to place that right here, just as a reminder. And yeah, you know what? I think I'm not gonna try to open that door right now. So let's go into this direction. Or maybe I should go there. I don't know. Why not go here first? So we're gonna step back with this guy then. And then we're gonna start another turn, which brings this up. Gonna turn around and simply move here and try to open that door. Okay, that's another trap. Well, at least that costs him some value points, but nothing... I mean, they're not super expensive, these traps. Oh boy, a locked door. So it's not getting better. Okay, so that costs him a point. Now, do we want to try to open that thing or not? I mean, there's still the option to go there. So you know what? Actually, I think that's something I might want to do. I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty sure this is not going to be... I don't think this is necessarily the room that we want to enter or that we have to enter, where we can find that gem. So we're going to move on. It's not really necessary. So yeah, let's go with this guy first here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and the dog, we're gonna move him right there. And now we start the next turn, and now she moves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, and now we're gonna reveal the next section. So let's see. And another trap. Incredible. Okay, these are flares. So, so let's see if we can spot these. So we need... Yeah, I think we need something like a 5. And by the way, these are 3 points, so... Okay. Okay, we have a 5. Very good, so we managed to spot the flares. And I'm gonna try to disarm this thing. This time we just have to... I mean, we just have to continue somehow. So I'm gonna take the dexterity potion, which gives me a +2 to dexterity, and then I can also problem is that this, yeah, you know, I'm gonna also exchange the picklocks for the bow. The problem is I cannot do this in the same turn because these are both quick actions, and therefore yeah, I only have a single quick action, so I cannot do it. But now, well, we start a new turn. So and now we need a 4 or something. I wanna play the thing safe here. Okay, so that was good, and it also allows me to now exchange that for the bow again. And yeah, so we revealed a section which gives me again a point. And this is according to my house rules. I don't get points for disarming traps, but instead for opening doors and revealing sections. So, yeah, let's see what we found. It's just a tiny section here, and we have another door there. So, we'll see what happens if there are now creatures, because there's simply limited space. So, but again, we have to roll 2 dice here, and for the first time, no. And again, no creatures. I mean, this is really pretty crazy, a total empty dungeon. But you know, I'm still okay, and I think it's not boring or something, it's just a little odd. I mean, we have a couple of things going on here. Okay, so, and I still have my movement actions, so we're gonna go here. And now all the others have to follow. We start the next turn, so we need another marker here. Okay, so we all ended up here, and again, let's open the door. And I still have my dexterity potion here. And another trap. Okay. So, dropping portcullis. Okay, that costs him 3 points. And 58. Okay. And so we gotta spot these things. So that means on a, shouldn't be so hard. I think it's a 3 or so. Okay, so not so bad. Okay, so I think the thing basically is not triggered, but I'm gonna have to try to disarm it, which should be very simple. We still I think it's an automatic thing. We have a +2 on dexterity. We only need a 2 to do it. So yeah, that should, maybe a blunder would be a miss. I think a blunder is always a failure, so we go with that. We're gonna roll here and see if we can disarm the thing. Okay, no problems here. And now we can also open this door, which gives me another point. Okay, so we found this room here, and here in the center you can see there's a magic circle there. And you can step onto that circle, and then it will have an effect. You're gonna roll for it, but this time it affects only one character who enters that thing. And from what I remember, the definition of character means also enemy creature. So basically, if there is now an enemy creature spawned there, the first creature that is spawned there will get that effect here, and after that the circle disappears. So let's see. And by the way, if we want to move through that door, we have to enter that circle, right? So let's roll for creatures. Okay, nothing. Incredible. And again, nothing. I mean, this is totally crazy. Now, don't get me wrong, this is not a good thing necessarily, because if he doesn't spend points, then these points will be all used to improve the leader at the end. And you're gonna have that super strong guy with, I don't know, 40 life points or something. And that really sucks. So I don't want that. So I kind of wish the guy would actually maybe I should, considering, for example, returning here and trying to trigger a couple of, I don't know, I mean, I'm really not sure what to do here. You know, I'm getting afraid if there's, this looks like it could be already, I don't know if it's going to be the main room, but it kind of looks like there's a magic circle there, so maybe there is already the main room behind. And wow, man, if we enter this and, you know, actually I think, yeah, I think I want to turn around and try to explore a few of the other rooms. This is just too tricky for me here. You know, I think I don't care. I think I'm going to move through this room, and yeah, let's move through the room. So let's see who starts. Well, maybe she starts. She goes here. And now the dwarf. I'm going to let him enter the circle, and he rolls a die here. Oh boy, that's a 1. That's not good. And you cannot re-roll these things. A curse affects him and he instantly loses 1 fortune point or is knocked down. So luckily I got still a couple of fortune, or knocked out, I guess, not knocked down. Yeah, he's knocked out. Okay, so that would be that, or bad. That. Okay, so this is now resolved. That gives us a point, by the way, because we interacted with a special element, and now the others can enter without any danger. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bring in the dog, and yeah, that's it. That's the end of this turn. And now she moves 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what? Actually, I think I want to move first the dwarf, and then I'm going to move her. Maybe this guy here. Okay, and now I'm going to check if there is again a trap there. And it is indeed. Damn, every door is kind of manipulated here. It's crazy. But okay, I mean, at least that also does cost him quite a few points. It's not like he didn't spend anything or so. Okay, so we have a block of stone. And actually, some of these cards are not cheap. I mean, he has to pay 3 points for that. But the thing is also dangerous. At least some of them are. But okay, they are they are easy to spot. So I think we need a 3 to spot that thing. Okay, that was no problem. So that means he's got to spend 3 points here. 1, 2, 3. But we have to disarm this thing, and that's a problem. So yeah, I think again I'm gonna change here to the picklocks, and then I'm gonna get somebody else to give me a dexterity potion. We still have one, I'm pretty sure about that. Yes. Oh, actually, you know what? I kind of messed this up. I forgot her. I don't know. So like, I don't know, I'm somehow. Okay, so I'm gonna go into the next turn now. And then she moves right here, and she gives her the dexterity potion. And then the scout takes it as an action, and now he can disarm the door. Or he can try to disarm the trap or whatever. So we need, I don't know, a 5 or so, I guess. We don't have that. Okay, that's clearly a problem. Now let's see if I can reroll that. Actually, a 4 was good enough because I have the picklocks. That gives me a +3 combined with the dexterity potion, and I have a 4. I only need a 7, so I'm okay. Very good. That opens the door, and that gives us a point. There we go. Okay, so we have a flooded section now back there. And on this dry part over there, there's a chest, which is pretty cool. And let's see, again, we roll twice and see if we find any monsters. And this time we do. Can't say I'm too unhappy about that, as I said, and we'll see, maybe he's gonna burn a couple of more points here. So let's see what that is. Okay, that's a wandering creature. I'm pretty sure that's not going to be too impressive. So we simply roll a die and add 2. That's a 4, so it's a 6. That's just 3 points. Skeleton with short bows and 2 skeletons with a broadsword and an improvised shield. Okay, so sadly I don't have a skeleton with a bow. I got these guys here, but yeah. So I'm gonna take him instead, and okay. So that's how they are placed, and at that point I'm gonna load this up, and that was probably the most boring video of the series. I mean, we're just running through this empty dungeon, kind of knocking on doors, checking if they were trapped or not, and if they were, we just moved on. Well, not always. But okay, you know, I mean, to be honest, I think in a way that's kind of cool, that it's really not predictable if you will meet creatures or not. And sometimes it can just work out like that. Okay, so I hope to see you on the next video or on lonesomegamer.com. Bye.